Yo, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, peeps? Who there? Who there? Who there? Who in the building? Who in the building? Yo, peeps, if you're in here, shout out who you are, where you're from, how you feeling. Big up Milton Powell in the building. What up? What up? What up, Milton? What up, Milton? What up? Who else there? Who else there? I see 3 people there now. Forgive me, guys. I'm a bit stuffy, so if you hear me drying up, forgive me. But yo, big up everybody that's here, chilling. It could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I appreciate that. So this trade opened up with a gap. So I've been in this trade from last week, took the trade from here. I'm expecting the trade to actually go all the way up here to 199.832. So I'm back in a bit of drawdown. Still interested in holding the trade. Wasn't expecting that deep pullback. Really wasn't expecting that deep pullback. That's why I really don't like holding trades over the weekend still, you know. But let's see. Let's see. Let's see, guys. This might give us a very deep pullback, so I might close out of this trade. I want to see how, you know, the monthly still looks like it's gonna push up. So the monthly still looks like it wants to push up. I know it's gonna push up, but it's just where and how. Am I going to take another entry? Where would I take another entry? So the next place to possibly take another entry is down here. Right, so we could see price actually come down here, which is where I was expecting price to come down to be honest with you. This was my initial place that I want the price to come all the way back here and then push up, which is possibly what might happen. It's just because of the price action on the other day. Let me say, yo, let me just jump in on price right here. But really and truly, I was expecting a deeper pullback. Could possibly see a pullback to this area right here and then push up. As you can see, I had an alert set right here at 197.39. So this is initially where I wanted to enter the trade from, but because of how price was pushing up, I thought to myself that maybe price was gonna actually push up higher. So if price comes down here, I might be looking to take another entry, guys. So if price comes down here, I might be looking to take another entry for price to push up. But overall, we can see that price is on an uptrend. So price is on an uptrend right here. As you can see, starting from here, it has not broken structure. Right? So, this is GJ, by the way, for those who don't know. So price is on an overall uptrend, and I'm looking for it to tap into somewhere into this area right here before actually pushing back down, or it might break above this area and continue to push up. So that is why my target is where it is. So overall price is on an uptrend, right? Price has not broken any of these lows, as you can see right here. At a low right here, another low right here, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. So I'm expecting price to tap into here, create another higher low about here, and then continue its push up. So I'm still buy biased. So that is what I'm looking at on GJ. So I'm expecting now for price to pull back a bit, I guess, to this level right here. Let me see if I can get a closer look as to where that is. So you have this 1 hour order block right here. So there's a 1 hour order block right here where price can tap into before pushing up. So you have that area. Go down to the 30-minute. Also confirms this area. I guess that is why my alert was right here. So this area now, and then of course, as you can see, guys, it's a bunch of liquidity right here that's sitting down right here. So price could be going after this liquidity to end up pushing up. So we have liquidity right here. So price can look to grab this liquidity and then push up. So if I'm to take another entry, the entry I'll be taking is somewhere in this area for price to continue to pushing up. That's a 30-minute. Let's look at a 15-minute. 15 minutes are the same thing. So the 15-minute has this right here, plus it has a fair value gap in this area right here. So we also have a fair value gap right here that price can also tap into. So we're setting our alerts in this area to see what price does. If the price comes down here, then we jump on to some trades and ride the price up. But overall, as I said before, we're looking in an uptrend, so we're looking to buys on GJ. All right, if this area don't hold up, so say for instance price don't hold up there, then we're looking for price to come down here. And if price comes down here, retest here, and then start to come back down, then we can look to start selling once price starts to create downward structure beyond this low. That's when now we can look at price as changing structure to possibly come down to this low, and then we decide what we're going to do there. But for now, we're looking for an uptrend. Everybody good? Everybody understand? Everybody clear? Any questions? I'm not going to be on with you all day today, guys. So if you have any questions, if you're not clear, let me know. I'm not going to be here all day today. Today is a family day. But you don't know, when I'm part of my family, somebody have to come make sure someone do a Sunday live. Is everybody good? Everybody clear? Can I move on to the next pair? Drop a 7. Drop a 7 in the chat if you're good to go. All right, big up Milton. All right, so that's GJ. So we're in GJ. So we get at the green light. Let's see what else we're at now. So as UJ, GJ and UJ has been in an uptrend overall. So are we going to look at UJ as continuing to go up? I think that's very much possible. So we're looking at UJ to continue up as well. This is the highest point it went to before pushing down. So this is the high. And down here is the low. So this is the low. This is the high. This is the low. As you can see, overall, as we zoom out, you can see that price is on an overall uptrend, right? So what it did right here is that it came and created equal lows and then start reacting to the upside. Now, this is the highest point that price went to. This is the all-time high right here. So we're expecting price that what it is doing is pulling back to continue to push, right? But this is going to take probably a year, 2 years for it to get to this, because the last time it was at this high was July 2024. So during the course of July, it came back down, made a double bottom, and now it's pushing up. So we're expecting that price is either going to continue to push up. So price is going to do one of two things. Either it's going to push up and break the high, or it's going to push down, break the low, retest, and then continue down. So we don't know what is going to happen in the long term. So that is why we're looking at it at a short-term level, right? So let me clear the chart. So we're looking at it at a short-term level. And on the short term, we see where price has been bouncing from here, right? And came up to this point right here. So when price broke through right here, it came and it bounced from right here, went up, bounced from here again, break structure, came back, bounced, push up, bounced, push up, bounced again, push up. So we can expect price to do one of two things. It is going to come back and bounce again and push up, or it can continue to go up, right? So that is what we're looking at. Currently, we can see a small uptrend right here based on where price is most recent. So let's just respect that most recent price action. So the most recent price action have price breaking structure right here. So this is a breaker structure. Then price broke structure again right here. And then after it broke structure right here, it came up, created this high, created this low, and then created this high, right? So remember, this was the high point before. So this high point right here this high point right here, where is that tool? So this high point right here caused this break of structure, right? And now it push up. Instead of actually pushing up and creating this high to now creating a low, it never created a low. Instead, it pushed up and created a high, which is above this high. And when that happens now, what we now have is we have something that we call a change of character. So this now becomes our change of character, because instead of price making a new lower low, a higher high, and then after it makes the higher high, it came back and did what? It created an equal low and pushed down, and now it's kind of ranging in this entire area right here. But in the process of it ranging in that area, what do we see? What do we see in the process of price ranging in that area? Anybody? What do you notice about price action? Even though price is ranging in this area, what do you realize about the price action? Anybody? There you go. Well done, Jordan. So you have lows, lows, higher lows, higher lows. So even though price is pretty much ranging, it's still creating higher lows, which means that the uptrend is still being maintained. So we want to ensure that we maintain that uptrend bias, because we could see where price breaks this high, pulls back, and then continues uptrend. So we want a piece of this uptrend, right? And then on top of that, you can see where price actually broke above here, then created a support level here. So we could see one of two things. Either we can see price come back down here, tap into this order block, and then push up, or price is just gonna continue its push up and break this high. So at the current moment, right, this is our high. This is the highest point. So we're anticipating that price could possibly break this high. So now let's go to the lower time frame, the 4 hour. As you can see, the 4 hour confirms our bias on the daily, which is that price is in an uptrend. So we are going to maintain our bias in an uptrend. So on the 4 hour now, we're looking at structure. So now we know that price is heading for this high, more than likely. So now we start to look at structure and look at places that we could possibly get into the trade. Now, price created this low right here, and this low was caused by this high right here. So therefore, based on price action, this would have been a breaker structure. Price came down, started to push up, created a higher low right here. Sorry, a lower high. Created a lower high right here. Pushed down, but what didn't it do? What didn't price do? So it broke here. It created a lower high, but then it did not create a lower low, which therefore means that price stopped right here, broke this high, did another pullback, and then broke the other high and pushed up to here. So right here is where we will start. We'll call our change of character. Now, a lot of people ask me the question, why don't I consider this first break, which what I consider as an internal break, why don't I consider this first break as the change of character? Because price could have actually came up, created an equal high, and then created a lower low. Now, what I do is I look at where major structure is broken, right? So this high right here, this is the last high that caused this low. So because this high did not break above this high, I don't really consider this a change of character yet. It's just breaking structure internally. But when it creates this low now, this is the first confirmation for me that it don't want to go down. I wait to see what it does, and then I would see it break this high, which now becomes a change of character. And then once I see the pullback, that's when now I'm looking for trade to the upside. And I did get a trade in here. I took a trade in here. I think I took the trade live as well. And I think this is the trade that got me from $7 to, I made $7 and it got me to $75. Right? So I got in the trade from here, and then the trade push up, and I was able to catch all of this move. Right? So the reason why, again, I don't consider this area right here as the breaker, as the change of character, is because this area did not break the previous high, the previous major high that caused the initial break, the first breaker structure. So I wait for price to actually break this high for me to say, okay, officially, we have now changed character. It's no longer a downtrend. It is now an uptrend, right? So that is where that comes in. So now, let's look at how price has been progressing. So after it changed character, it did this. It breaks structure. So now we see structure start forming to the upside. Again, right here. Another breaker structure. All right. And then we have this right here, where we could possibly see price actually heading to as well. And then internally, we have this breaker structure right here. On the lower time frame, this little breaker structure, even though it don't look like much, this little breaker structure right here, on a lower time frame, it's going to be a major breaker structure. So even though it looks so, it's still considered a breaker structure. And even right here, it's still considered a breaker structure. It will make more sense to you as you go down to the lower time frame. Right? It will make so much more sense to you once you go down to the lower time frame, because you'd see how the structure is actually progressing on the lower time frame. So this is also a breaker structure. And then this also, to me, is the most recent breaker structure. So this now is the most recent breaker structure, right? So as you can see, guys, we're in a uptrend. So our bias is still going to be uptrend, or still going to be buys until we see price actually starts to break some of these lows. So this is the low, this low, right? Cause this breaker structure, this low right here, cause this breaker structure, and then this low was where everything started from on this leg. So we could see one of two things, guys. We could see price come all the way down here, grab all of this liquidity, and then push up. Or we could see price come down here and then continue to move up. So it just depends on what price wants to do But then we go to the lower time frame to see what are the areas that we want to mark off to enter from, to see where the possibilities of price is going so that we can jump on the trade. So let's go to the 30-minute time frame to see if we get more clarity. All right, so this breaker structure is here. And we look at the fact that this order block right here would have caused that breaker structure to the upside. So this is one of our points of interest. So could we be looking at price actually coming down here, tapping into here, and then continuing to push up? So that becomes our first point of interest. Let's look at the weekly time frame just to see. So yeah, so price could just tap here and then continue to push up, or it could go deeper. Let's look at the 1 month time frame to see. So the 1 month time frame as well, guys, is strong bullish rather. So we can't expect too much of a deep pullback. It's not impossible, but we want to anticipate that price is going to continue to push up. So I don't think price is going to do too much of a deep pullback. So our first point of interest would be right here. And then our second point of interest would be, let's go back to the 30-minute time frame. Second point of interest could be now this order block right here. All right, let's use this red candle. All right, so it's the internal breaker structure. And then this is another breaker structure right here. So the deepest that I'm anticipating price would possibly go is down here. So that is where the next area of interest could possibly be. We could also look at this fair value gap right here as an area that price can pull back to as well. So that would make now 3 areas of interest that we could look at price actually reacting from. So this now is our fair value gap. So you have this fair value gap, you have this order block, and you have this order block. Let's go down to the 15 minutes, see if we can refine a little bit more. So we have this order block right here on the 15 minutes. And then this fair value gap right here. And then we have this order block right here. So those are the areas that we're looking at price to actually react from. So any one of these 3 areas could be the place that price react from. So what we do is we wait for price to get to these areas, show some sort of rejection, show some indication that it wants to go back up. We can go down to even a much lower time frame to see how structure is forming. So that is what we do when we get the price to go to a certain level. So if you see price hit this level and you see it continuing to go down, that means that it's not ready to go up yet. So it might be looking at the next level to move up. So we don't enter in the middle of nowhere, guys. Never enter in the middle of nowhere. It's best to wait for it to reach to a point of interest, right? Because you don't want to enter in the middle of in the middle of nowhere and then price go hit the point of interest and then start to move and they say, boy, you know, trading is not for you because you're not patient. So we have to wait until price hits our point of interest. Sometimes price might not get to your point of interest and then move in the direction that you're anticipating it would, but you have no control over that. So my thing is, the best thing to do is just to wait, and once it hits your points of interest and give you confirmations, that is when now you jump into the trade. And somebody asked earlier Do you usually tell us when to enter? No. Sometimes I do if I'm on my phone and I'm able to. But most of the times, what I do is I tell you the areas to look out for. And then, based off of you and you understanding how price action moves and the momentum and the volume in the market, that's when you decide to enter. I am giving you a signal in terms of I'm telling you what areas to look out for. But at the end of the day, you are the one responsible for your own trading, guys. I want you to get the idea that it's not a trading is not a in a situation where you're going to just take the same trades I take and just enter when I say enter. Because sometimes I might be busy and I won't be able to catch a trade and then you miss the trade. Or I might see the trade, I call the signal, but because you are busy, you're not seeing the signal. So my best thing is when I show you the structure, you set your alerts, and then once you set your alerts, just pay attention to price action. And then once you see confirmation, whether it is an engulfing candle, whether it is wick rejections, whether it is a morning star, evening star, whether it's a head and shoulders pattern, whatever it is that you see as confirmation, you enter your trade based off of that confirmation. All right. So don't expect that I am going to be giving you and telling you exactly when to enter, where to enter. I find that that doesn't really work. So I give you the structure. I tell you how I anticipate that price will actually work out, and you are now the person to decide. Okay, I'm going to enter. I'm not going to enter because I don't feel comfortable. All right. So based off of that, guys, these are areas of interest. So 1, 2, and 3, and this is UJ. My time for this. 1 second, guys. Yo, peeps, can you hear me? Sorry about that. Drop a 7 if you can hear me. Okay, all right. As it relates to my EMA is a 200 EMA. That's all I use currently. I don't really use it to trade. It's just that it helps me to understand or just confirmation of the trend. So as you can see, price is mostly above the 200 EMA, which indicates that price is mostly in an uptrend. And on this side, you can see where price is below the EMA. It confirms the downtrend. Again, price is above the EMA, uptrend. And when price breaks and go below the EMA, downtrend. So it just helps me to confirm my trend bias. Right? That's all the EMA does. So I don't use the EMA to trade. All right. Guys, if it's your first time, please remember to hit the subscribe button. Please remember to like the video as well. So I'll take a second for you guys to like the video. If you are a trader, you know other people that trade, please don't be mean and share with them. I am possibly, I don't know for sure, but I think I'm probably the only Jamaican trader that does this. I go live on a Sunday and I go live during the week as well. Live trading during the week when I'm able to. During that time, you will be able to take the exact entry that I take if I'm live. But I typically go live on Tuesdays and Fridays. I might start going every day, like how it's summer. So I wouldn't need to drop the kids to school. So I might go every day, but I might go on the live between 7 and probably 9:30 the latest. So I'm going to probably be doing more live trading. But please to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know when I'm on, and also please to like the video. Bunch of other videos as well, you can watch them and like those as well. All right, so we went through GJ, we went through UJ. Right, now let's do GU. Right, so GU now, got a banger from GU. I never entered the trade, but I call it in my group, in my signals group. I don't know if anybody caught the trade, but I did call it in my signals group. Yes, as you can see, we call the trade from up here, and then the trade started to move, and then we eventually hit full TP. Right, so this is how I send out my signals. Show you guys the areas I'm looking at price to actually hit, and then it's up to you to enter the trade. So back to this now. GU. Let's clear the charts on GU. Let's look at the monthly chart. So where GU is concerned, guys, we're looking at GU in an overall downtrend, right? So price is in an overall downtrend. This is very obvious on the monthly time frame. Now, let us look at price action. Price came up, created this equal low, created an equal high. It broke below here, created this low, but then guess what it did? it now started to create higher highs, which means that price might be transitioning either to an uptrend or looking to grab the liquidity on these highs before actually pushing down. So the most recent area or the most recent high that price has seen is this point right here. Right? So that's the most recent area. Now, one of two things we could be considering. We could consider that this could possibly be a lower high for price to continue to push down now, or it could be that price is doing a pullback to push. Either way, I am thinking that price has to come back to push, or it could be coming down to start to create a lower low. So either one of them can play out. It's just which one of them we believe is going to play out in our favor. So on the monthly time frame, what we can say is that we did see price break structure right here, which confirms that we're still possibly in a downtrend because none of these highs are broken. However, based on most recent price action, we're seeing price actually break to the upside. So there's a breaker structure here and a breaker structure here. So at best, price could be coming down here to then continue its push up. So even though price is not overall uptrend, I am looking for price to push down because we need a pullback before it pushes up. So let's look at the weekly time frame. On the weekly, we see where this is the area that price broke out of, right? And then this was the low that created this push. And then we also have this low right here. And we also have this low right here. So we could see price pushing back down, push up from here, or pushing down to push up from here, or pushing down to push up from here. Any one of those things can happen. But based on how price looks now, it looks like it wants to continue its push down. Oh, this is also a low. We'll have to consider this low. Because this low right here, because this breaker structure up here. As I said before, it might not be clear to you right now on the higher time frame, but when you go to the lower time frame, you're going to see the breaker structure clear as day. So if we're going to sell, we really don't want to two-hold depending on what happens. We don't want to two-hold beyond this point because price could come down here and then react. So we have to be careful. But then this is the most recent high. So as we go to the lower time frame now, we can start to look at areas of interest that price could go to or react to. Right? So we can see here where price pushed up from here, came down here, created this lower high, and is now pushing down. So price is continuing its pullback. This is a lower high. All right? So now we're expecting that price should be able to at least come somewhere down here before pushing up. So our anticipation is that we're still in sells. So let's look at areas where price could possibly sell from. We could have a pullback here, or price could actually start to move up. But let's look at the areas of interest. So you have this high. This high right here. Then you have this high right here. This was the high that created this low. So I'm not so interested in this high. So this was the high that created this low. And then this high created this low. Not so interested in this high. I'm more interested in this high because this high created the actual low where the candle closed below. And then this high as well created this low, right? So this high created this breaker structure. This high didn't create a breaker structure because guess what? Nobody was closed below the line. So this high would have been a weak high. Price came up here, and from this high, it created a body close below this breaker structure right here. So price broke structure right here. And then this high right here created this breaker structure right here. So therefore, these are the highs that I believe that price is respecting. For me to start to buy, I would need to see price actually start breaking this high and this high like that for me to start buying. Until then, we're in sell mode, right? Now, we have this order block right here. Remember, we're still on the 4-hour. So this is the 4-hour order block that price could be going towards. So price could be going towards here based off of this order block causing this breaker structure. So this order block caused this breaker structure, right? So now we're anticipating that price could be coming back to tap into this order block, which means that there's some sells left for us to be able to get before it reaches here. Now let's go down to the lower time frame to see where those sells could possibly come from. Right? So the first area that is closest is this area right here, which you will consider to be a resistance level. Because guess what? Price was right here. This high right here caused this break right here. And then this high right here, it didn't cause a break because guess what? Price is at an equal low right here. So I'm anticipating that price could come back. Where's my arrow? What the hell? What the hell? So price could come back up here, break this high, tap into here, and then push down. So therefore, this now becomes our point of interest, which is a resistance level. So this is our point of interest. And then this high created this low. So let's say this is another point of interest, another resistance level. And then the most obvious point of interest is right here. So price could go as far as to reverse all the way up into here. So you have this area, you have this area, and you have this area that price can reverse to, right? So any one of those areas, we could have a reversal of price. Now let's go back to the 1 month. Based on the fact that the 1 month candle is so strong, bearish already with 17 days, I don't see it going all the way back up. It could, it's possible. So let's just say that price comes here. What percentage on our Fibonacci is that? From here to here. So this could be the area where price more likely could come back to before pushing down. So more likely, this area right here could be our strongest point of interest, especially with the fact that you have some liquidity right here as well. So first point of interest is this area right here. Second point of interest is right here. And then our order block is right here. All right, so we want to see price get to here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set an alert right there, and then set another alert right here. And obviously have another one right here. So what will happen is that we wait and see what price does when it comes into this area. If it decides to start to break this area, then we wait for it to come to this area. But what we do, guys, is you want to always wait until price hits your area of interest. Now, how do you know if price has changed from the bias that we have, right? If price comes up here and break our area of interest, it doesn't mean that you should automatically start to buy. What it means is that you need to wait for it to come back and retest and then push up. Come back and retest and then push up. So you don't want to buy, change your bias and say, oh, you're going to buy now and it's just jumping because you see it not holding up to our point of interest. You want to see price actually break the point of interest, possibly hit our next point of interest, come back, and then start to show signs of rejection to continue to push back up. That's how you know that the trend has changed, right? But for now, we're waiting for price to come here, show us what it is doing right here. If it doesn't hold up, then we look at this area. If it shows us what it's doing right here and it doesn't hold up, then we look at this area. And then one of these three areas we should be able to get our trade. If not, then we can look to change our bias. But for now, on GU, we're looking at price to continue to the downside. Let's look at the 30 minutes so we can actually refine our areas of interest. On the 30 minutes, you have this area right here. You can refine it to there. Yeah, this can maintain here. This is fine. On the 15-minute time frame, we can refine this to here. This now, I think this is fine right here. Don't want trouble that. And we can refine this one to, I think this is fine as well. All right, guys. So these are areas of interest. Price could also move from here based on the 15 minutes. Price could also push from here. So can set your alerts there as well. So we have right here, which is 13, between 1.354 to 1.35, oh, 1.3549, 1. Let's go. Sorry, 1.3401 to 1.35493, and from 1.35591 to 1.35671. So these areas right here, I would say will be the more likely areas of price to actually react from. As you can see, the EMA is also showing us that price is in an overall downtrend on the 15 minute as well. So the EMA on the 15 minute is above price. On the 30 minutes, it's above price. On the 1 hour, it's above price. On the 4 hour, it is above price. On the daily, it is below price, but it's a far away. So on the most recent time frames, it's actually below above price, which is another confluence that price is on a downtrend. All right, guys. So that's GU. Anybody have any questions? Everybody good? If I can continue, just type 7 in the chat, please. Type 7 in the chat if you're good to go. Type 7 in the chat if you're good to go. So we can move on to gold. How long have I been on this live so far? Over an hour. Come on, guys, let's go. Time is of the essence. Everybody good to go? Drop a 7 in the chat. Come on, guys. Drop a 7 in the chat. Thank you. All right, gold. So I did anticipate that gold was going to come up here, but we never catch a trade because I was expecting a deeper pullback. As you can see in the Discord, where I call this gold, I think gold is going up after all. So I was expecting gold to actually push up, but I was expecting a deeper pullback into this area for price to go up. So we never got the trade. So unfortunately, we never got into this gold trade. But so you go. We get another time. All right, so gold now, Zin. Let's look at what's happening with gold. Let's start with the monthly time frame. And on the monthly time frame, we can see where gold is actually continuing its push up. Gold created an all-time high here. And the high of the previous month is up here. So could it be that gold is actually headed to that high? Let's see. On the weekly time frame, we see where price has been rejecting this whole entire area right here. So could it be that price is just ranging in this area? It could be. On the daily, we have this area right here that price is seemingly breaking out of. Either way, as you can see, this low, this high, then we have this low, this higher low, and then you have another equal low, which is still a higher low than this. And now price is heading, and then it created a higher low again. Price is pushing up. So now we're waiting on the other higher low to be formed for price to continue to push up. So I would say that we're in an uptrend, or we're looking for buys rather. So we're waiting now to see price push up, pull back, retest, and then continue its push up. Right, guys? So I'm not so sure that's going to happen today, but let's look on the 4 hour to see if it's possible. All right, so we're looking for buys. As you can see, we have a shoulder, head, shoulder, and then price is breaking the neckline. So we want to see a pullback somewhere here for price to continue to go up. So let's look at this area, and let's look at this area. Go down to the lower time frame so we can get some more data. There we go. Right, so we're either gonna wait for price to push up and then come back, retest here, and then continue to push up, or price could start to trend back down. But for now, I'm looking for a pullback, possibly to this area, and then push up. Let's look at how the Fibonacci looks. So from here to here, so somewhere in this area, we'd love to see price actually come back somewhere in this area to continue to push up. So let's go down to the lower time frame to see if there are any different points of interest. All right, so currently gold does look a bit choppy, so we'll have to consider that. So we do have a resistance level right here. And right here, we got a breaker structure on the 15 minutes. which then gives us this order block right here. And what it also does is give us all this liquidity right here. And it gives us this fair value gap right here. So we could see price come all the way back here and then push up. That's a possibility. So I still want to mark off this area right here because price could come back to this area and push up. So a point of interest here, order block right here, fair value gap right here. So these areas are the areas that price could possibly react from. So here, here, or here. So those are the three areas we're looking for price to react from. If not, you could be seeing price break above this high right here, and then this now will become another point of interest. But for now, these areas are a point of interest. All right, guys. So we're going to put an alert here. And an alert here. All right, guys. So let's look at UCAD. USD CAD. It's kind of ranging a little bit. Let's look at the daily. Overall, it's in a downtrend. It's ranging, but currently it's in a downtrend. However, it tapped into this area where price broke structure from, and now it's reacting to this area. So we could be seeing it transition into an uptrend. No. Why would we say it's transitioning into an uptrend? Because based off of market structure, the first thing we see is that it reacted from here. This high created this low, this high created this low, this high created this low, this high came here, did not break this low, and is now pushing up. So now it begs the question, what direction it's going to go? So we have this high right here. And we have this high right here. And we have this high right here. This high created this break. This high created, well, never really broke structure here. So the breaker structure, hold on, let's go to the lower time. Let's go to the 4-hour. Yeah, so this high didn't break structure. It was this high that broke structure. And then this high broke structure. So on the daily, these are the two highs that we should be paying attention to. Right? So let's go back now to the 4-hour. So price broke structure, and then after it broke structure, this high created this breaker structure right here. This is where we have to focus on every little detail, guys. So this one giving us a little bit more detailed focus in terms of market structure, right? So this high created this low, this high created this low, this high created this low, this high created this low. Know that this high did not create a low. So this high right here did not create a low. It then pushed up, which means that this now is our change of character. And then this area right here would have been an internal breaker structure. This would have indicated to us that price is now in an uptrend, or price is moving towards an uptrend. And this now would indicate to us that price is in an uptrend. And then it starts to break structure to the upside. Structure broken again right here. As you can see, price started to come back and price started to react from this order block. Now, if we were paying attention to this, this would be perfect, because as price comes back, it rejects from the order block. So really and truly, we should have been in the trade from down here as price is pushing up, right? So continuing the format now, this high or rather this high created this low, and then this high did not create a low, but this high did. So this high created this low, breaker structure. This high also created a low. So this high created this low. And then once this came here, price pushed up to create this high. But then instead of continuing to create a low, price pushed up. Instead of continuing to create a low, it pushed up above here. So now this now becomes our change of character. This is our internal breaker structure. Change of character. This now becomes our major breakout structure. Another major breakout structure right here. So now we see that price is actually in an uptrend. And as you can see, also the confirmation of that is lower highs. Lower highs. Right? So overall, price is in an uptrend. No. Price bounced off of here a couple of times, leaving right here to have some liquidity. So right off the bat, we know that right here, there's some liquidity sitting down in this area. So this area has some liquidity. So we could see price coming down here to grab some liquidity before pushing off. So therefore now this area where there's an order block becomes our 4-hour area of interest. So what we'd like to see now is we'd like to see price actually pull back, come down here, tap into here, and then continue to push up. Now let's look at the daily. This would be a nice pullback right here. On the weekly, it's a little bit deep on the weekly though. So are we anticipating the weekly to come all the way back down? Not so sure. And on the monthly, we can see where price could possibly pull back. And then this move possibly not happen until next month. So either one of two things are going to happen. Either this monthly candle going to turn out into a doji, and then the new monthly candle is going to be the one that pushes up, or this monthly candle could push up and close above here. So we'd have to wait and see. So our first area of interest is down here. But based on where price is, it might not work out. So let's go down deeper to see if there's any other potential areas of interest that price might tap into. So we have this area right here, price push up. Let's go to the 30 minutes, see if there's anything else. So let's refine this right here. There's a fair value gap right here. So let's say that price could react from this fair value gap. So this could be another point of interest. So that could be an area that price reacts from. Let's go to the 15-minute and see what's happening. Presents itself right here. So yeah, guys. So breaker structure here. Price came down back. As you can see, if we were in this trade, we would have gotten a beautiful trade here as well. So price break structure, and then it reacted actually from the order block. So this would have been a nice entry right here. A nice 1 to 8 if we were trading this. But for now, I would say let's maintain this area as well as a point of interest, because I've seen instances where price reacts like this to a point to an area and leaves a long wick and then comes back and fill the wick and then push back up. So let's look at this area as also a nice area, a nice point of interest area. So let's look at this area as an area that price could actually pull back to and push up from. So price could pull back to here and then push up. So let's set an alert right there. And then this becomes the highest point. So once price break above there, then we have to readjust and rethink where we're going to actually enter from. All right. But for now, I see right here as not a bad area at all for price to move from. And then if that fails, we're probably looking for price to tap into here. If that fails, we're looking for price to come down here. All right, guys. So that's what we're looking at on USD CAD. And the last thing I'm going to look at now is GA. GA is in an overall downtrend. Let's look at the daily. Let's look at the monthly rather. The monthly, we're seeing prices pushing down, right? So there's a breaker structure here. This is the highest point it went to. Could be coming back there at some point. This is another high point that it went to. And then this is also a high point where price did not break out of. So could it be that this is equal highs now for price to push down and come back down here, which is the lowest point that price went to? So a breaker structure there, or a breaker structure here. Let's go down to the weekly. On the weekly, we see this low right here. We'll also see this lower high, which also has equal lows, equal highs, sorry. So let's go down to the daily time frame to see if we can see more data. As you can see now, price is ranging in this area. Right, so price is ranging in this area. This high did not cause a low, but this high right here, break structure. This high break structure, pull back up. So this is a major high right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejection points. Then price came, reject, created a lower high, then pushed down and created a lower low. Also broke structure right here. So this now is considered or change of character, but we're going to go down to the lower time frame to see it clearer. So let's go down to the 4 hour now. So on the 4 hour, 4 hour, we saw where this high created an internal breaker structure. This is also an internal breaker structure, but then this high created or was it this high created that move, breaker structure right here, which this high caused that breaker structure. Right, so price is now at this point. Are we going to see price pushing up to push down? Let's see. Let's go on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, it's kind of hard to tell. On the 1 hour, we could look at this as a order block. Price break structure right here. Price created this low, came back up, created this initial internal breaker structure. So now we're anticipating what the price do when it comes up to here or up to here. It's going to 30-minute time frame. On the 30-minute time frame, I have a nice area of interest right here. This is possibly some liquidity right here. So I have liquidity right there. Possibly area of interest, order block right here. For the 30-minute. Let's go down to the 50 minutes, see if we can refine it. So yeah, so right here, order block. Then right here, we have our resistance level. So we're looking to see how price reacts when it comes here or when it comes here. So these are our 2 points of interest. So right here and right here. So what we'd want to see, guys, is we want to see price push up and start to push back down from here. Or push up from here and start to push down. So those are the 2 areas that we're looking for price to move. If price then starts to break these areas, so push up, retest, push up, retest, then we're not uptrend. But for now, we're looking at price to reject from these 2 areas. All right, so that's it on UCAD. So GJ starting to push up back. So I think I should be back in profits. I was in drawdown. Let's see where I'm at now. Yep, I'm back in profits. All right, so let's see how it goes. So GJ pushing back up. UJ is pushing up as well. We want UJ to take a deeper pullback, but let's see how it goes. This is the high. I'm okay with UJ breaking the high and retesting. And GU, we're looking to see if it will come and tap into these areas. Gold, we're looking for a pullback to tap into these areas. USD CAD, we're looking for a pullback to tap into these areas. And on GU, we're looking for a pullback to tap into these 2 areas. All right, so that's it for me, guys. Thanks for chilling with me. We're now here for, how long have you been on the stream? 1 hour and 36 minutes. Thanks for chilling with me, guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you being here. Big up on yourself. Much love. And yeah, I'll see you guys possibly tomorrow. Possibly tomorrow we jump on a live. If I see a move playing out tonight, I might jump on a live. But more likely tomorrow. All right, so remember, guys, press the like button, subscribe button, click the notification bell so you know exactly when I go live. And I'll see you on the next episode of Learn to Trade JA. All right, big up on yourself. Thanks for the love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, if anything. All right, big up.